What's going on? K-Stu the GOAT, Stewart V once again for Venom Sports. And, and looking at the history of Alabama football, there have been a lot of great defensive players that have come through that university, specifically at linebacker. I think about Reuben Foster. One of the guys that comes to mind is Reuben Foster. As a matter of fact, I'm actually from somewhat the area where this kid is from, and I'm talking about from a linebacker technique. I mean, this guy's technique is so incredible. His vision, his coordination, his impact, his impact for the game is so incredible. And if you want a blueprint on how to play linebacker, you definitely want to look at Reuben Foster. Whether dating back from high school, this kid had just natural technique that just carried over to him actually winning the Butkus Award while he was at the University of Alabama. More recently, things have been a little unfortunate for Reuben Foster as he's found himself into, a domestic violence type situation that luckily, didn't cost him his career entirely. You know what I'm saying? I don't condone in any form or fashion, domestic violence or things of that nature. I think it is a unjustifiable act. But for Reuben Foster's case, I'm saying? I'm glad he's getting a second chance. And it seems like under condition, though, because it looks like Washington is really not playing with him. And just looking at a couple of articles that I did get a chance to see, his only saving grace looks like he's got a few guys from, alumni of Alabama who are, on the team that, can provide some form of mentorship, because I'm pretty sure that was in the clause of this thing. But it goes back to say, I think these athletes, they're heralded, they're very protected in their bubble space, but they have to understand that there is a society out there that has a high level of accountability, and they're going to hold you to that same standard that any other person has to live by. Maybe some crazy behavior can be swept under the rug, under the coaching quarters, like say, for instance, you skip class or you get caught with a little weed or some stuff like that. The coaches might be able to brush it under the rug, or they might be able to, kind of get with the Barney Fife cops and say, hey, man, can we, is there any way we can kind of get past this? But when you get out into society, man, and you're doing all this craziness in public, and you're thinking that society is looking at you with the same reverence of your ability to play football, that's where I think we get into a little trouble. We have to understand that the levels of accountability for these athletes, they have to understand that it applies across the board. That you're not going to be able to get out here and do some of this craziness and, get away with it, or somebody gives you a slap on the wrist. So hopefully this is a lesson for, Reuben Foster or any of these high stakes athletes who have worked so hard throughout the years to really polish their craft up and put themselves in a position to play high level of sports. But I think what we have to understand is you gotta get those demons. Those demons got to get out of you, because no matter how successful you may be, the demons are unless you take care of those demons, they're still going to be there. And it is my honest opinion that the more money you make and the more prestige that you have, I think it magnifies the demon. So those are some of the things that we that I feel that from a mentorship standpoint and from a therapeutic standpoint, to where these young athletes who have so much in front of them, who are living a life that many people will never ever fathom in a million lifetimes, they got to tackle those demons. They have to, that inner anger, whatever it is, that vice, whatever it is that will keep them from maximizing their potential on all levels of consciousness, just need to be taken care of. It needs to be covered. Once again, it's K-Stu the GOAT, Stewart V with Venom Sports. look out for one another, man. And if you have a guy, you have a upcoming athlete in your presence, say you're a coach or something like that, look at that kid as more than someone who's producing on the field. Look at this kid as somebody who's going to be a productive citizen in society, who might happen to be astronomically successful on the field. Like I said before, K Stu the GOAT, Stuart V for Venom Sports, and you all have a good night. And best wishes to Mr. Rueben Foster.